Hi everybody, it is Shelly with Strategic Sales Advisors and welcome back to my channel. Today, in the next episode in our Pipeline and Process series, I want to talk more about what's next, right? So first of all, we've talked about prospecting essentially. We've talked about marketing and sales, warm leads, and having that ideal client profile. Then we talked about the discovery meeting on the last episode. And so this week I kind of want to talk about the pitch. But before we can talk about the pitch, right, sharing our solutions, we have to understand our solutions and what makes them unique. I talk about this a lot with my clients, and it's really important that we are crafting and creating unique solutions for our clients. Now, I use unique, and let's just be brutally honest out here. There is not a product or service out there that is truly unique. Everything's, for the most part, has been done or someone else is doing it. So the chances of you having a one-off unique product or service is pretty darn rare. But the way that you approach how you do things, right? The way that you, the time, the energy, the approach of how you provide your solutions can make it unique. I talk a lot to business owners about why they started their business. You know, we start a business, whether you are selling a product or that you are a professional service or service-based organization. As an owner, we launch a business because we feel like that we can do something exceptionally well, and we can do it in a unique or differentiating manner, right? If you think about the hamburger out there, right? Everybody does a hamburger. Once the hamburger was created, there was no longer the uniqueness of I'm going to be a hamburger place, right? But you can approach it with the way that you make it, right? So Burger King and their flame broiled and setting themselves apart for that. Wendy's and their square burgers being fresh, fresh beef. Some others do, fresh meat only, that type of thing. A local favorite here, Whataburger, and the unique toppings and the creations that they've made. And the flavor of different things, including their famous spicy ketchup. There's different ways that you can approach your business and the way that you do things that can create that unique solution. And we want to make sure that when we're creating unique solutions that we are keeping that client profile in mind, right? So, if you are a burger joint and you're creating all these unique burgers, but your ideal client profile are vegetarians, then you've missed the mark, right? So, that's when you start to get into, well, we're going to create bean burgers and we're going to create veggie burgers and we're going to create all of these, impossible burgers where we've created uniqueness in our market and we've kept our client profile, those clients that we're going after, in mind as we do creation. So that is incredibly important because as we get into after discovery and we've uncovered the pain points of a client, we've uncovered the challenges that they're dealing with, and we've listened enough to understand that we might have solutions that we can provide to help fill those or fix those pain points. When we get to the pitch, now we need to be able to do things customizable to that client potentially. I'm not saying we have to build fully customizable solutions for every single client, but we need to be able to tailor our solutions to that client to so that we can make sure that they understand that what we are doing for them is going to fill their pain point. That's going to fix that pain point. Let's go back to the example I've been using through this series of the marketing company that I was working with and the conversations that we had around, different clients and different challenges, and then uncovering really that the client base that filled them with joy, that they really loved working with, and that also from a revenue perspective brought them great revenue was the nonprofit space. So when we talked about that and we talked about what they needed from a marketing standpoint, we started, developing their marketing solutions that would then support, in general, the nonprofit space, right? So if that's the client base that they want to go after, if that's their client profile, then we need to ensure that their solutions are tailored towards that, whether that is tiering their solutions, right? Because let's just be honest, nonprofits run nonprofit. They're very cognizant of every dollar that they spend and what the return on that dollar is, because their whole purpose is to support some other space, right? It's to raise money to support something else, right? So if they are working with a child-based nonprofit that is generating funds to support something children-based, their marketing and storytelling aspect of that and their branding aspect of that is going to be a little bit different than if they were working with a nonprofit from a medical space, right? So being able to have sort of a core solution that they can then lightly tailor towards these other areas became very beneficial, right? So that's part of that pitch. When you get back from discovery and you've sat down with that client and you understand what their challenge is, before you can sit back down with them and share with them your solutions, you need to make sure that your solutions match their pain point, right? So that they align there and that what you're going to do for them is going to solve what they need you to solve. And then you need to be able to show that value. Every company, every organization, nonprofit through for-profit, when they are looking to purchase goods and services, right, products and services out there for their company, they need to understand what the value is. And if you can't, and your team can't talk about the value of what you're providing, then you've got a situation. That is something from a solution standpoint that you need to be able to express. In my business, right, where I'm working with companies and organizations to get their sales infrastructure lined up correctly, get the right people in the right seats, to get, pipeline and process aligned, to get strategy in place. I need to be able to clearly tell them what the value is in that, because they're spending money with me. And at the end of the day, that money needs to generate revenue for them, right? So I need to be able to say, if you've got a streamlined pipeline and sales process in place, you're going to typically convert 20% more business, which is going to lead to X amount of revenue for your organization, right? And then I need to back it up. I need to be able to have potentially statistics, just like you would, of what that's going to do for them, right? When they purchase from you your goods or services, you need to be able to back it up with statistics on what that's going to allow them to do. And sometimes it might not be revenue generating. It could be process. You could be saving them time and energy on their side versus generating money. You could be eliminating a step in their company, which saves time, money, and energy, right? So you need to be able to really clearly delineate what is that value to them. And then here's the biggest thing, and this is where we fall apart in the pitch, is we've gotten that initial meeting, we've done discovery with them, we've uncovered everything, we schedule that pitch meeting, and we can, here's our solutions, and here's how it's going to help you, right? It's all about them. Here's our solutions, here's how this is going to help you, here's the value it will bring to you. Are you ready to sign on the dotted line? And we discover we're talking to the wrong person. They can't make that decision. So that is one of those major steps that we have missed, right? So in the sales process, whether it's in the discovery meeting or in subsequent conversations, we need to make sure that we are talking to the right person to make ultimate decisions. In my space, that's typically talking to a business owner or CEO. People purchasing products, or even some services, that could be procurement in a larger company, or it could be finance, right? That's making a decision on something. If it's something that is related to the operational structure of an organization, it could be your head of ops or head of manufacturing, if it's in that manufacturing space. But make sure that when you are pitching to the right person, and that you have focused your energy on that person. And then at the end of the day, yes, we want to, tell them the value of what your solution will do for the company, but you also want to tell them what your solution will do for them, for that individual person, because the pain point is typically that they talk about is typically focused in on, what's going on with the company, what challenge they're facing, again, in my marketing example, it was, we're making these pitches, we're not closing enough business, we're not working with some of the clients that we really like, they tend to eat up our time, and scope creep and all of these types of things, and then getting that aligned out. And, so when I'm talking to that client, when I'm talking to this marketing CEO person, and walking them through, finding the new process, finding the right client profile, doing all of these things, managing their pitch, because we shouldn't be giving everything away at the very beginning in a pitch. The other thing that I had a conversation with her on is I said, what happens to you if we can get this process, streamlined, and we can get you working with the clients that bring you joy? And she said, you know what? I go home happier to my family at night. I'm more pleasant to be around for my staff. So my staff is more excited to come to work each day. I'm not stressed and my health gets better, right? So in that conversation, in that pitch that I did when I was, pitching my solutions with her, it was a conversation around, hey, you know what? Here's what we need to do. I can help you with this. Here are the solutions we're going to work on. Here's what that's going to do for your business. And even more so, is this going to do for your business? But this is what it's going to do for you as that business leader. Are we ready to go ahead and move forward and go to contract? And usually, if you have hit all of the things at that point, if you have solved for all of the pain points, at that point, they're ready to move forward. So I hope you take a little bit away from this, right? So matching the solution to their pain points, showing them the value, not only to the company and organization, but to them in particular, and then making sure that you're talking to the right decision maker, the one who can make the decision to actually move forward with you, whether that's through contracting or however you move forward with a client. I hope you took a little bit of things away from this episode here in the pipeline and process section, and we'll talk more next week. If you did take something away, please, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like and subscribe. And, if you've got more points and you want to share, or if you have an idea that you'd like me to cover, put it in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on things. And we'll talk next week.